Recording in progress, it said. Okay, everyone, hello. Today, I have lovely Ashala Yardley with me. I love this connecting with Ashala once a month, and I feel like we always have very beautiful comments from the audience because they are very spiritually evolved and they appreciate Ashala's frequency and Ashala's messages as well. And she has been doing this work for a really long time. So it comes out, this is the time. Welcome, Ashala. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Anya. As always, a delight and an honor to be here.
It is. And you know what's amazing? Because I wanted to connect with you. I didn't have any questions. I just felt like I just want to talk to Ashala. And I didn't have questions ready. And yesterday I listened to your soul sampler on your channel, Ashala Yardley on YouTube. So subscribe everyone, the link is below. And I was like, this is all for me. Like it was, this whole week was, the reading was all for me. And I said to myself, no, I'm not gonna talk about month of August because people can just go and listen weekly to August, okay? So what I was actually receiving today to ask you is something I didn't plan or expected, but it came to me literally an hour before our conversation. And this is like in a Hitchcock style. We start with a big explosion. Because my question is kind of that caliber. So
okay.
I just feel like, first of all, I want to say to everyone, please, this is not written in stone. We are doing the reading and we all individually create our own reality, okay? So don't hold on to it like this is the only way, because there are countless ways of manifesting. However, I would like to ask, we have two groups of people, and this is asking an important question in a lightweight, Ashala. We have people who choose to have this, and we have people who choose not to have. So I would like you to ask your cards first. What's gonna happen to those people, like the future, the reading, to those who say yes to it, and then the second one to those who say no to it?
Okay, thank you for that question, Anya.
I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. And I want to speak to you just for a moment.
Internet.
About what you were saying earlier. I love how you phrased this. You know, this is not, oh, am I cutting out?
You're back.
But am I there? Okay, well, as I mentioned, I've been having quite a lot of internet challenges, so it's underway. The repair is underway, hopefully. I wanted to mention that when you spoke about things not being written in stone, I really appreciate that reflection. And what I've learned over the years working with the tarot as a tool for divination in order to access information from our guides, I tune in with the information that comes in on the bandwidth of love and aligned with the greater good of all, with a power neutral, meaning not about having advantage or power or dominance over or under, in this really beautiful neutral vibration. And what sometimes, in fact, oftentimes what comes through in readings is not necessarily exactly written in stone what's going to manifest identical to how it comes through. What comes through is the information that's important for us in order to take our next step. And it's like it's massaging our imagination, our spirit. It's massaging us open to receive the next most powerful step of our journey in our healing and our evolution. So I also like to say, you know, our free will is so powerful and the timelines are always adjusting themselves. So I believe we have incredible power to actualize the things that we want to see happen or to experience. And that it's almost like reverse engineering things in a way. But what often the guidance from the cards or our higher selves, our spirit guides that come in on this vibration of love, what they often show, like I said, is what we need to hear to help us grow in that direction of the vision of our greatest potential. So keeping that in mind, because like it's very good advice not to hang on to these messages, but to see them as supportive kind of wind beneath our sails.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Thank
We're looking first at those who choose to have this
thing.
Yeah. And you know, the first, when you spoke about this, what I was getting is this sense of something very valuable in this journey collectively for all of us together, that there's different roles being played, and each one of those perspectives holds aspects of what we need to grow. So what I get about this, the people who have chosen this, they are moving very quickly, and they're really sort of attached to the definition of their human experience that's been given to them. So they're very, I want to say, impressionable. And they're kind of in a little bubble. And like the chariot here, they are moving forward, believing that their free will is what's happening. And yet they're being very directed. And I get that they already feel disconnected. They already feel abandoned by spirit, by nature. So it's kind of a sad thing in a way, because it's like when you feel abandoned and disconnected from spirit, you are vulnerable to be impressionable and to be sort of like, please, big system, tell me what to do and look after me. And so what I'm getting is that in a way, we are protecting ourselves, but also that greater potential of humanity by not getting kind of pulled into that belief that we are alone, isolated, abandoned by spirit. And that in a way they are like our younger siblings that have, you know, are off making some mistakes and will come back around at some point, and we have a role to play in helping them heal. So it's that sense of, there's something about abandonment, that they feel already abandoned and we feel more connected. So we're resonating and setting a tone that they will eventually be drawn to. It's our role to be the elder sibling, kind of to stand in our own autonomy. And we're having the courage to say, regardless of the consequences, we know ourselves and we have a strong connection to spirit. So will they be abandoned? Will they take that abandonment all the way to crossing over and leaving this earth plane? I think that's very specific to each individual and their course of evolution. But I really feel drawn to pointing out that this aspect of abandonment is at the core of what we're looking at. And it's an abandonment wound, really. So having some empathy and compassion, and yet holding our strong boundary. We had that, that beautiful King of Swords who is holding boundaries and protecting spiritual autonomy. Let's go on now to look at those of us who choose not to.
Yes, let me just say one thing, Ashala, because I just want to emphasize to all of you watching now, guys, that because Ashala had problem with internet, what I'm actually witnessing, this is quite interesting because her messages come through, they are just delayed, okay? So you're not missing the message, the words, but it's sometimes like slightly frozen and then it catches up. So if you can go through this with us, we appreciate, because there is still internet connection. It just has the moments when it freezes. So sorry, I had to say it because I know people sometimes over here, there is internet issue, but we are going on with the reading.
Thank you. I apologize.
No,
it's under construction and I'm working on it. Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Wow. So what I get for us is that when I spoke about that abandonment wound, we've already dealt with that. It's like that's something that we've processed spiritually, and that's why it's not frightening for us to wake up to these truths. We are kind of ahead of the game in that regard, and this is what we came here to do. We came here to create this kind of justice, this equilibrium. And it's like we've already done that healing. So when you think of an experience where you've been through something and then you've already resolved it and healed it, and you're watching someone else go through it, and you're like, oh, I have so much compassion for you. You know, when we're newly through the healing process and we see someone else going through it, it may create aversion. We may want to stay away from them, because it's like it triggers our anxieties.
We're
like,
not
oh no,
stable. We're not stable, right?
We're not stable yet. But once that's behind us a little ways, we can look at someone else going through it and have so much compassion for them. So I get that a real word associated with those of us that are making the choice not to succumb to this storyline that's based on rejection and abandonment. We've faced that already.
Yeah.
And we are free.
Yes.
We're free.
Yes. This is such a key. This is such a key. I'm so sorry, because when you were saying about the first group, I felt there is no more, they don't trust anymore. However, they keep on going for another and another because they simply don't know any better. Like they cannot see anymore out of it. And there is imprisonment in that. There is no freedom in that, because it's always like depending on this announcement, that one said, but they don't believe fully anymore, but they like, but that one said, because everyone, and then they look at other people who walk with confidence, breathing, living, and they wonder what, I'm sorry, because it's just, I had to say it, Ashala, it's so clear. It's so clear.
I do get a feeling that there's a sense of parting of the ways and a timeline of seclusion or self-isolation. And I don't want people to be triggered by that word, but I want you to understand this. It's like a protection mechanism where we separate ourselves for a time. I can't determine exactly that time, but it feels like it could be as long as a month or two, where we kind of separate ourselves away. This is not about rejecting those people, but it is about moving through. There's that chariot again. And moving through, here's the isolation with the hermit, moving through this phase where, it's sort of like being around a child that's having a tantrum or something.
Can I say it? Can I say it? I say it in a better word. When the shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Cover yourself and move away. Yeah.
My channel, I can say it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's that we're isolating ourselves, knowing that we will come back into the fold. But this is an important time to kind of stay in our own lane and with our own like-minded people. And there is a feeling of separation for a time period. Yeah.
How long you see this, Ashala? Can you tell me? Like, is it coming this year, right? Can you
Yeah. I get a feeling like I've got the month of September here into the end of the month of September, early October. I've even got this really great, it's like I see a lot of us traveling over this next 3 weeks to 3 months. It's like there's this window, and we're especially traveling to each other, like to be around each other. It's awesome. It's like this maneuvering, and there's ways through the system. There's ways through this, as we've spoken about before. So we're maneuvering, staying in our own lane, and that feeling of freedom. It's interesting, Anya, because I feel personally like even though the mind can say, well, I'm not free as I was 2 years ago to do this, that, and the other thing. I have a sense of a different kind of freedom, which is really about free to be very aligned with my spirit and to be super in the flow, because a lot of the overlay has been cleared away. So the light is shining brighter.
You just described this so perfectly, because that's exactly how I feel too. Even though, well, like you said, there are ways in between. There are always ways. But it's exactly how I feel. I feel actually inside of me, within me, I feel much more free, because I don't have to put up with those programs and systems anymore that were like thrown on us. Be this, do that, and I'm like, I'm over it. I'm like, that's like, it's so good not to have this anymore.
And that's what I'm referring to with, we've already dealt with that abandonment. For many of us, we felt abandoned years ago, perhaps even decades ago, by a system that didn't resonate with us. And we had to, experience that. And this is almost like a deeper truth is now able to emerge. And the true freedom that comes with that is extraordinary. So, it's our little selves that are going, but what about this? I can't do this. I want to do that. It's, look at what you can do and what is really your soul is drawing you towards in a deep and powerful way. And that's the freedom.
So after this isolation time, what's coming after? Do you see anything else, Ashala?
Let's have a look at that. Anya, I'm getting that we're really doing several things during this isolation time. It's we're doing research, we are gathering information, we are making our alliances with each other, co-creating, visioning the future. We are, I'm getting almost like studying and doing profound healing work within ourselves. It's like we're readying ourselves, and it's for the new era. Oh yeah. You know, it's interesting because it's like what I'm being shown is this journey with hills and valleys ahead of us. I'm not being shown like a, you know, a highway that's like, boom, we can just take off and go into the sunset. I'm being shown that there will be big waves of kind of like a renaissance of humanity, and that we'll be inspired, this freedom, this sense of courage and opportunity is going to ignite in us. And then there'll be these like, oh, okay, now we've got to ground this. We've got to make it practical.
Yeah.
And then I feel like there's another wave of like, wow, look what we can do. And then whew, another.
Okay.
So
but those are good ones.
Working with, yeah, and you know, there will be pushback. There will be, it feels like it's not a, like, you know, we get to the certain point and we are liberated on another level, and then it's smooth sailing from there on. I get that there's these plateaus, and we go through another wave of, you know, challenge, but each time we are solidifying our foundations and making them more practical and workable and sustainable. And so
it's kind of like our connection today.
Yeah, yes. Oh my God.
I'm writing this, I'm like, it's okay, it freezes. And I'm like, it comes back. What? It's okay. I mean, look, it's just perfect example of how this is going to be. Be patient and write with this video like you're gonna write with the future.
And I feel like what that shows us is that the challenges or the breaks or the blockages will stimulate more growth in us. They will stimulate more stabilization, because, you know, it's kind of like kids in a candy store. Like when we're when the shackles really come off, we're like, whoa, you know? And it's almost as though we need some like, okay, ground, make this practical, and then woo, another opening. So,
no, but, you know, even like this candy store, it's so true, because I was never like that really, but let's say the child goes and totally goes bananas in the candy store, and it's like this, everything. But because it's like, hop, they don't really know what has the best taste. So they have to slow down, and next time they go, they are very selective.
True. Not to mention they can get sick if they overdo it too quickly.
Yes.
So, you know, it's that we're being led through this. I won't say led, because that means like we're giving up our autonomy, but we're being guided through this in a way, at a pace that helps us grow, as opposed to, you know, we're wanting to not just recreate the old system, the old paradigm of power and dominance and go. You know, we want to create this gentle flowing, rolling valley of growth and then integration, and growth and integration. So Spirit is going to offer us opportunities to work like that. And
we are becoming, Ashala, we
yeah.
are becoming. It's not just about the systems, we are becoming. And I think what ultimately I see, and your reading confirmed that we, the people, are becoming truly once and for all that power. So it's for us, the people.
It is for us, the people. And there's a great power in our relationships with each other. So at the center of this question, when you asked what's after this period of isolation, I feel like the value of significant relationship, really reconnecting perhaps with people who are on the same wavelength that you've lost touch with, and also making new important alliances. It's not just about advantage, it's the time for us to reconnect in the heart space, and relationships feel like they're going to be really significant in this next couple of years. And so three things: creativity, relationship, and then stabilization and bringing in the practical.
Yeah, I like this. So my next question is, having a lot of reflections about it lately, is there going to be a certain part of humans that will literally, physically leave this earth plane, those without, like myself, for example, leaving this existence and actually going to a different place, out of earth? I'm so happy I can talk to you like this. Some people like, what?
Now, when you're referring to beings leaving the physical earth plane, are you inquiring about the beings like us or the beings?
No, like, let's say we encounter through sleep or through real tangible experience another existence, more evolved, and they're gonna take us to a different land that is on much higher frequency and actually is the true real new earth. It's like new earth outside of this twisted reality here.
Okay. First of all, I get that we are already going there, and there's a lot of energy going back and forth. It's interesting you were describing the dream time and the interdimensional experience time, which I feel those of us that are activated, awake, and ready for this can be spending quite a lot of time in those journeys between. What I am being shown is that there's a third option, and it's under construction right now. It has something to do with almost like there could be three different choices, but there's an interaction between those three choices where they're designed to inform each other and to share wisdom and grow and heal. So I've never seen this before, but it's almost like I'm seeing more of an ease of journeying between different options. And it's like I'm being shown a new Earth that's a physically different planet or location in a material sense. And then I'm also being shown this Earth in its healing journey, which is I've been shown for a long time that it's 300 or 400 years that we are sort of not beholding, but it's an honor to do the healing work with this planet that has nurtured humanity in such a beautiful way for eons. So I get that there will be those of us some that will go entirely to this new location, some that will remain entirely here as kind of ground crew cleanup work. And I'm getting a third option, and I am not sure what that is exactly, but it almost feels like it's some kind of interdimensional arena is what I'm hearing. And I get a feeling of a large council there, and
like
almost like a bit of
a waiting place,
like a hub. Yeah. And I'm being shown that this is not fourth dimension astral. I heard seventh dimension. So there's another spot, and some of us will spend time there or travel through there. So different options. And, I feel pretty honored to have connection with this Earth home, this planet that I love so dearly, feel true, deep devotion to this planet. And I would like to reside here for the rest of my days in this incarnation on some level, but I'd also really love to have experiences in these other places. So I'm not sure. It's almost like we could have different roles, and maybe I get to go between.
Yeah, Ashala, I really wish, but we're still going. I really wish we have such a meaningful and deep conversation now. I really wish the internet was smooth, but it's okay because the message still comes fully. So I have to say this. I feel that I might be going to that new land, and that there are different waves, like not every time, but I also, when you talk about it, I feel that there will be, in a way, I saw an image that, let's say hypothetically, I will get there. It really doesn't matter in what way, in a sleep state or literally taken there, or my consciousness, my awareness, even though it seems like I am still here, but I'm projecting very different reality. And I think from that place of much higher energy, loving and supportive, and this like a golden age already there, we are literally sending messages to this earth plane with like, we are talking to like in this movie Interstellar, which is one of my favorite movies. It's not easy movie, but we are sending the messages to ourselves from the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel there is something to it. So I'm trying not to overanalyze it, because then it will be too much. I'm just trusting that I will be guided to the right place at the right moment for the right reason.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How important it will be for us to have representatives in these different places and to be sharing, communicating, and doing the healing work together. Thank you for being one of these ones that goes.
But Ashala, thank you for staying here and taking care of the earth. Seriously, this is a huge commitment because you like, and again, like there's many of us existing, right, at the same time. But it's interesting because I don't really feel like I want to plan my life ahead anymore like I used to. It takes me longer to like make a decision, and things that used to be important for me, they don't mean much anymore, and it's just it's like really every day it's like a new day. There is a sense of direction, but like today I'm talking to Ashala, but I don't have this structure of living like I used to have. So it's more open to allow whatever is the best for my higher self to happen. Okay, so how
truly, Anya, yes.
But how you see this now as because I wonder if that separation now and that isolation now is going to come like to this grand finale, like this like energy clash, you know what I mean? Like it's like this final, like before the Titanic, that's another story. The orchestra was playing, so it's like this final music now. And then after this, like the darker is darker, the light is lighter, and it like almost it cannot exist together. How is, I know I'm trying to express what I feel like. So in this dimension right now, is this going to be like majorly hard first in order to come out of that bump, or it will like
Okay, I'm being shown almost a metaphor, or I'm being shown a different way of looking at what you're describing. And because what I'm hearing is there going to be a large disruptive event that is
destroying, like shaking this up, everything,
quite dividing?
Yeah.
And so I'm being shown an interesting model or perspective, and it's the divine feminine. So I'm going to show you right here.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Empress, yeah, Empress and the Strength Maiden, Mother and Maiden, and Crone Elder. Interesting, not Crone Elder right here. So what the story that's being relayed is that in times of great crises, wars and famines and earthquakes and so on, there's that saying that men go to war and women wake up every morning and feed the children. So under any circumstance, the woman's world, I've heard incredible stories about war-torn areas or post natural disaster experience. I mean, obviously men and women alike rally together to support and heal each other and so on and recover. However, there's something about the spirit of the woman, particularly the mother, that just immediately jumps into the role and does whatever is needed to continue to support support life, to nurture life. And so there's something about this, almost as though from that perspective, other than being gone altogether, there's nothing that would stop us from waking up and attending to the children. There's this kind of like an innate natural instinct. It's not just preservation, it's not ego, it's love and nurturance.
Yes.
And so it may not feel like a catastrophic leveling event if we're coming from that place. If we are in every situation, I like, I've been shown this in readings a couple of times where it's like, you know, the big event happens and then the next morning the women are making breakfast and knitting their clothing, and it's just kind of like, okay, we just carry right on. So the beautiful piece is that we don't have to be completely disrupted, and the beauty will like that vibration of love and harmony can recover itself amidst all different kinds of challenges.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
It's rebirth.
It's a rebirth in every moment, really. And then it's like there doesn't have to be a major dividing catastrophe. Things can shift. There can be big events, but we don't have to go to that black and white, like, big divide. I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel these transitions have the possibility of being more graceful and gracious and centered in love and not in fear. So it's how we make the transition is what really counts. And I feel like you have the option to request how that looks for you, Anya, that, you know, you can say it looks more gradual and gracious.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. I really hope this will record, because I'm putting out into universe right now. So I'm going on the plane. I close my eyes. I'm flying to Europe. I land there. No one asked me a question. Hello, how are you? That's it. I enter. I'm in London and I meet my partner for life and we create amazing things. And I'm like, this is my new earth. This is my new earth. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. This is my new earth.
Yes. 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 It's a choice in every moment. And this is very natural to the female spirit because we have that multifaceted, holistic approach to life, which is every moment is full and potent. It's not that the masculine can't achieve that. It's that we've been existing in this really strong woven groove of the masculine that is like, you know, all that matters is the destination.
Yeah.
All that matters is the goal. And I feel as though, you know, and I guess a little bit, I was hearing that it's so deeply ingrained in us, we can't help it. We keep going, what's the end game? What's the goal? Where are we going? And we're forgetting, like, wow, we're here already. You said it. Close your eyes, open them.
Yeah. Like
I'm in the new earth.
You wake up and you feel, wow, this is such a good energy this morning, or whatever you are. And I see how many people can be transported in that sleep. When they wake up, they are on a different
definitely and you know, that really segues in with what we do with what we know right now, because I've been saying this right from the beginning. All this knowledge of these truths, if it creates for us, you know, a living devastation where our lives are, you know, we can't experience that joy and that love and that new earth in every moment, if it pulls us apart and fractures us inside, then that information is not helping us. If we can sort of integrate it in small doses and allow it to actually expand us and open our hearts and allow us to trust and experience more freedom, then it's beautiful, potent medicine. The truth is medicine. It's medicine.
But you know, can I say one more thing before we end, Ashala? I was thinking about this morning because I went back yesterday and today. I went back to listening to Abraham Hicks, and I used to listen for so many years, to hours and hours. And you know what? It's good to go back and like the reminder was there, and they are saying stop taking the score. And it came back to me again, because when people keep taking the score, where we are, they are not really allowing to go, because they are, how to say that? Like, to be present in the moment, it's one thing, which is crucial. But to take the score of what events happen, what another event happened, it's very limiting. It's very like, it's almost like it's conditioning, and it's narrowing the endless avenues of unfoldment. Because if you caught up just with few events, you really know a barely fraction on the surface of what's taking place, and there is so much more that you have no idea about, right?
So right on, Anya. And I want to add one thing to that in closing, and that is, if we focus on, instead of taking the score of how close we are to where we think we should be, by exploring and acknowledging and having gratitude for how far we've come. If we look back and say, wow, you know, acknowledging the work, acknowledging how we've grown, acknowledging our, you know, our growth and the highs and the lows. And this to me is a valuable practice, which isn't about comparing us to some future goal. It's about acknowledging what we already are.
Yes. Ashala,
and yeah,
I am so grateful. You know what? It was such a great talk today. And in spite of internet, I know people will be like, oh, internet, it's okay, guys, because if you just relax and go with this, you hear everything you need to hear. And I just want to say, Ashala did a reading for me. I don't think we actually, no, we didn't talk. Did we talk about, I didn't mention that Ashala did the reading for me last time. And I was blown away. I think we mentioned, I couldn't stop talking. I was like so excited. Wonderful readings, guys, seriously. So if you're interested, and I mean it, like, I will not tell you if it's not good. She is incredible, like so many layers she uncovered there. And she's booking for 2-3 next weeks, because then she's traveling. So check the website. All the links are below. Check the website, and you can find Ashala readings there. And then, Ashala, you want to mention about those master classes that you're doing, free masterclass, tarot masterclass, right? On Sunday.
On Sunday, yes.
Okay.
So that's also, people can register on the website.
Okay. And this is this coming Sunday? Wonderful.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There you have, everyone. Make sure you check Ashala's YouTube channel. She's posting weekly videos, Sunday Soul Sampler, and there is another channel Ashala has, where she's inviting the guests as well and talk about alternative ways of media, internet, and then it will be also financial, right? And
financial, food production, sustainable food production, alternative housing, alternative education, alternative medicine and healthcare. Yeah, alternatives.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything, Ashala. Seriously, I'm so grateful you found time for me today.
Thank you. Thank you, Anya.
And we will connect if I'm still here.
And if the internet allows it.
Yes, thank you so
It
much.
will,
All the
it will.
love to you. And thank you for
Thank you,
watching,
Anya.
everyone. Check Ashala's YouTube channel, all the links, and make sure if you're looking for a great reading to go to Ashala. I highly recommend. I really do. Lots of love,
Thank you.
everyone.